Hello everyone. Welcome to the new episode of the Offside Lounge Podcast. We have with us Praneeth, Ashwath, and Viraj. So, being the hot topic for today is the transfer news, and starting with the team who lost yesterday, the Community Shield. So, United signing some good new players. So, what do you think about the signings, Viraj? After yesterday's match, you might be very excited to especially talk about United. So, what do you think about Ten Hag's new signings?
Um, Honestly, United did have a good start and a good match yesterday. It's just that they were unlucky with the finishing, especially with Rashford and with their defense as well. The way they conceded easily from the right back that made the error. You can see that Mazroui is coming in, which is gonna be a good signing and an upgrade on Van Bissaka. He's been the second fiddle in Bayern's team, but yes, he's been good. And along with him, Delete, he'll do a good job. Like we said in our previous video as well. Yeah, if Euro was not injured, then it would have been a whole different story starting with the season next week. But eventually, as far as we go ahead in the season, it might become um, crucial for United to have the depth with these guys coming in.
So, yeah, Delit coming in is a great thing, but the only concern we all have is like his injury. So, and he didn't played exceptionally well at Juventus and at Bayern as well. Most of the times he used to be injured. So, and we are extending on the other hand, we are extending Johnny Evans' contract. So, don't know which two defenders will consistently start for the entire season. So, what do you think, Pranith, about the
I
signings?
I feel United are still not going to have like their starting center backs like it was last season. Last season as well, they had n number of pairings playing in defense, and I think it might be the same this season as well. With Euro trying to find his feet and now starting the season injured as well. I think Delit and Euro both will take some time to adjust to the Premier League. Delete as well is very injury prone, and as soon as I saw the signing for United, I was kind of skeptical. And of course, between Mazroui and Delete, I feel Mazroui is the better signing for United, given they needed some strengthening in the right back position as well. But between Euro, Delete, and Martinez, I think these three are going to have some tough competition between themselves in terms of who's going to have that starting centre back position. Uh, Put in Harry Maguire into the mix as well, and you never know who's going to start next season. But it'll be interesting to see what choice Ten Hag uses for his starting centre backs. Ashwath, what do you think?
I feel that for the United defense, Lisha is the most important. Uh, no matter who is the other partner, but what they have to be hopeful of is Licha managed to have a entire season without injuries because that man is an absolute leader. Uh, Along with him, if by the time Licha manages the initial few months and Delete is not having that much pressure, just because Licha is managing the backline, I feel that Premier League could witness a new defensive pairing that can cause problems for the strikers in Premier League.
I think another important factor that we should also consider is the Ten Hag and Delete partnership, because Delete hasn't like Amir and Viraj you both mentioned, he hasn't performed in Juventus, he hasn't performed in Bayern as well. So like we've just seen really small glimpses of the Delete that we saw at Ajax under Ten Hag. So maybe like the best is yet to come for Delete, and maybe Ten Hag can bring that out of him again. So it'll be interesting.
And not to forget, even Licha came from Ajax. So Licha
Mazroui
and
as well.
good.
So
Yeah, Mazroui as well. Exactly.
Anthony Mazroui, I think everyone he's just trying to create a mini Ajax team, but
And
And
Malacia
Antony
is
as well.
Dutch, just in
How could you
case.
forget about Antony?
yeah.
How could you think about Anthony?
How
I'm
The
like
first.
talking about United's defense, talking talking about talking about United defense. Like even this Van Bissaka has joined West Ham, and West Ham are doing some good signings this transfer window. So Ashwath, what do you think about West Ham? How they are going to move forward?
I am skeptical in terms of signing of Fulcrum because yes, he's a good striker, but if you ask me in comparison of having Fulkrug as a first team striker or Antonio as a first team striker, I would still like to go with Antonio because he is a proper beast with pace. In terms of the problems that they had on the wings, which is basically them channeling more towards the right, where Bowen was the key artifact in the entire West Ham attack. Now they have Somerville on the left. So Somerville from the left and Bowen from the right, they are going to create a havoc with Paqueta balls constantly coming from both the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
And also, if I talk about defense, Todibo coming in, Bisaka coming in, these are formidable defense lines. Like, won't be best in terms of attacking the game, but they are really fabulous when it comes to a defensive side of their game. So, and last season they had a problem of having formidable defense and they were consistently conceding goals. So, hopefully, having Max Killman, having Bisaka, having Todibo can solve that problem as well.
yeah,
I want to shed
And
some light on the
Antonio.
way. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about Antonio is such a good player when it comes to finding spaces. That Somerville on
Mhm.
the left and like you said, Ashwath Bowen on the right. Antonio is gonna see 5 more goals throughout the season. I'm pretty sure about that. Than the ones that he already scores. So yeah, yeah, yes, Praneeth.
I was just talking about the way West Ham have been operating in this transfer window. I think these three players that we discussed, they one among the few signings that they've made, and I think they've just been the silent killers, just going and signing extremely underrated players, and also doing it in a very savage manner. Like I think Todibo's deal was also done to Juventus. Somehow they just sabotaged the entire deal and got him to West Ham. That also on
yeah,
a loan with an obligation to buy. So funny enough, but like I think West Ham is probably going to be one of the teams to watch out for next season. They'll be one of the underrated teams. They've always been one of the underrated teams, but I think they'll have a good season as well. Coming to that now, talking about good seasons and transfer windows, I think one of the most quietest clubs this season has been City. They haven't made any big signings. They've managed to retain most of the first team players except for one. I wouldn't say first team player. He was usually on the bench. Alvarez did some good business selling him to Atleti as well for 95 million. That's why probably City currently, I think in today's football world, is probably one of the most well run football businesses for the amount of profits that they've made by selling players as well. Like didn't expect to sign a player for 14 million from River Plate and then sell him 2 seasons
In
later
two
for
years.
95,
Yeah.
95 million. So great
Mm.
work there, but still they've been quiet. So what do you think, Viraj? Being a City fan, is this season going to be a season with lesser expectations? And are you going to see massive changes next season with Pep's future in the doubt as well?
Yes, I was gonna get to that in our special video for the predictions later on, but yes, I feel this is gonna be a transition year for City to move into things. to see how we can replace De Bruyne, how we can replace Walker. Rico Lewis has been good with his um, pivotal role, playing right back, send CDM as Pep is trying different things out. But yes, Savinho coming in. Um, he's got likes of Mahrez. He idolizes Mahrez, got the number as well. And was scored the penalty yesterday in penalties against United. And
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't seen him in preseason, but I'm hoping that um, what he did for Girona. Girona were very good at probably up until February or March, being on top of La
Yeah.
Liga, and then obviously since they don't have the depth, they bottom down. But yeah, it just shows you've got a great squad. Came from the same football group that City owns, so that was one thing that scouting ka paisa bach gaya udhar. But nevertheless, City signed another keeper, a Japanese keeper, yesterday. Probably a second choice keeper. I would say Stefano Ortega has been really good when it comes to playing B team, and has always come in, and even
He's
without
been,
having
yeah.
any experience, he's been good with the first
He's
team as well, starting in normal league games. But yeah, we saw that Ederson was gonna go this season, but hasn't, and it's been I would say much a quieter transfer window for City. I
Do
said
you
it
think?
last year. I didn't like Nunes getting signed by City. I didn't like getting Nunes from Wolves. Um, but yeah, I hope we sell him. We get someone else, someone better to fill in the void for De Bruyne, which because obviously he's like a silent um, killer. He's gonna go down. He's old now, 33. But yes, we could
Yeah.
see one last season, and
One last
yeah,
season from De Bruyne. Yeah, that's what I was going to touch base on. That City should kind of try and get a better replacement for De Bruyne from this season itself, just so that they get used to things and not wait until next season and then go
yeah,
into another season of transition. But yeah, I think.
Before you go ahead,
Mhm.
before you go ahead, I just wanted to drop a question to Viraj. Why is Manchester City not solving the João Cancelo problem? I mean, if they solve that problem, Cancelo coming in would literally become a fresh signing who can literally channel them from the wings. Because as of now, them going and playing centre backs on the left, it makes no sense. What is your thought
it
on
makes no sense. So in that case, I would completely agree with you, Ashwath, because if you compare Cancelo with the other defenders that we've got, he's been the most successful in providing goals and assists if you compare it to
Hmm.
any other defender who's at City at the moment. But apparently, right now, Pep is above all his players and has always been that way. If you try to screw with Pep, you're out of the game. And no matter how good you are, on paper, I would completely be honest that Joao Cancelo is versatile, more versatile than Walker. But Walker's got more strength and pace when it comes to right back. When it comes to left back, obviously, I would have preferred playing Cancelo. But like I saw, he's not been. He trained with the team in preseason, did not play. Was there yesterday, did not play in the Community Shield as well.
Hmm.
I think he might be going out because one thing I've seen in the past is take the likes of Cancelo, take the likes of Jesus, take the likes of Sane. Whoever's been out of the club, they've always had a bad mouth about Pep of not having good personal relations with him. So once it's been destroyed, obviously, since he was out on loan, he couldn't do anything much about it. Barca did try to buy him, but couldn't. So yeah, we'll see.
And as Virat said that they need to find the replacement of the great Kevin De Bruyne. It it is the top priority for City to find the replacement. But the challenging thing is, it might be his last season for City, and KDB and Pep leaving together, like both leaving City together, will be a very problematic for the club. Like new manager coming in again, building a team and with around entire new player. So it would be a tough times for City. Like this season, I think I have, frankly speaking, I still have good high expectations from City. Pep being Pep, he's never satisfied. So he will go for trophies. He will go for Premier League one more time. He does, like, he's best at those things. So yeah. So coming to the team who has signed the most number of players, अभी हम तीन शान बैठेंगे. अभी अश्वत बोलेगा.
चलिए शुरू करते हैं.
Rampage start.
Music, music. Um, Happy, sad, I don't know. Uh, Gutted, of course, to see Gallagher go. I mean, he was one player who wanted to play for Chelsea, and he has and had played for Chelsea with all his heart at the midfield. uh, it felt bad that Chelsea is literally trying to axe players who are loyal to the club and they want to continue their loyalty with the club just for because of the financial fair play. It is a tough call, but hopefully it will work out for us. Am I affirmative of things working out? Honestly, I'm not because the signings that we are doing as of now, the signings are people that I have to Google and check their stats and where are they from, how do they play on YouTube, and that's the reality of things.
Yeah.
The players that we are signing in, like for example, we signed Samu recently. Like it's almost done, about to get disclosed. So comes in. We already have Datro Fofana and we have Armando Broya. And the club has to convince me a lot to tell them that in terms of potential, Samu is way higher than Datro and Broja. In
Broja.
terms of uh, in terms of a striker, we are still not satisfied. We are still not done in the market. There are still rumors coming in that we are going for Osimhen for some reason, and I don't know what is the plan eventually. Uh, in terms of signing centre backs, in terms of signing midfielders, it is very. I'm not convinced with how things are going as of now. We are literally giving up on Trevor Chalobah just to make sure that we are keeping space for players like Wesley Fofana, Disasi. Honestly, these players are on literally on the same level. So if we are feeling that Trevor Chalobah is not good enough, how is Disasi, Badiashile, and Wesley Fofana good for the squad?
Fofana
So
was
I
horrible
have
in the
my.
preseason.
He
He
was
got too caught up
horrible,
with
but
the racism stuff, man.
he yes, that was one of the reasons, and the second is he literally was not part of football for almost a year, so we have to also consider that. And expecting him to directly get into the first team is also not right for the board to expect. So
Yeah.
before he gets his fitness back, the club also needs to look out for players that will be able to fit in that particular role till the main player that we are looking or focusing on is getting fit. So
Honestly,
yes, it
after
hurt.
honestly after Thiago Silva left, the only player that I thought who played for the badge apart from Reece James, I'm not taking his name because he's always injured and he is injured now, was Conor Gallagher. I remember one instance where I think it was Palace and Chelsea was conceding in the first half, and
Mhm,
he was all over the place. Like he went box to box. He was behind the ball
Mhm.
all the time, and he scored two goals in that match, and they won. Which was like you could see that he was playing for the badge, and he was fed up with the other players, but he was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself." And he did it. And you guys sold the only player who was gonna be a good potential captain for Chelsea.
did
Yeah.
we sell it? Answer is no. Did the board sell it? Yes, because the fans, in my opinion, were always against the decision of having Gallagher out. So yes, it hurts. It hurts. But I'm wishing all the best to Gallagher, and I hope all the success comes his way.
Well, there was one Englishman who went to Atletico and won the league. This guy could do it as well.
Hmm.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. He deserves it.
All right. On that note, we'll end this episode for now. Keep a watch out for more transfers happening. We've still got another 15 to 20 days left for the transfer window, and most of the leagues start next week as well. So we can see some last minute transfers going in if there's any injuries that happen. And I think it'll still be an interesting transfer window. I think the real business will start now. So we'll definitely be back with some more videos discussing future transfers that happen. All right.